rare images that'll make you say, damn, that's rare. This was the unbelievable moment Devin Stratton, a skier from Utah, survived a 150-foot fall from Mount Timpanogos. In China, police officers aren't issued firearms, so this is how they subdue dangerous criminals wielding knives with the power of teamwork. Score 1 for Disney. It's almost impossible to believe that the scale of damage done to these engine blades was caused by a flock of birds. This horse is so well trained that it is able to protect its owner from a hostile mother cow while he routinely tends to her newborn calf. This is a theatrical demonstration of how the Victorians relieved themselves in the 1800s using a fancy porcelain pot mounted underneath furniture known as close stools. Hold on a second. They didn't wipe? In early 2024, doctors at Massachusetts General Hospital treated 3 people with recurrent glioblastoma brain tumors using a brand new drug. A single dose of the new cancer drug made the brain tumor almost disappear in just 5 days. Ever pictured a real Jurassic Westworld crossover? This amusement park uses a robot dog in a Triceratops costume to play with the kids. Thank you, Michael Crichton. This was the moment a fan assisted his favorite wrestler, Negro, using his wheelchair to prop him off the ground, stopping what would have been a direct disqualification criteria in this match. This is a photo of a LAN party from 2003. I know it smells crazy in there. Now here's something you don't see every day. This electric SUV can run Contra with its rear lights through advanced programmable rear light system. I've never actually seen anyone play Contra without the cheats. This was the moment an explosion hit the Oceana water park in Gothenburg, a water park that was under construction. But seriously, man, how do you even get a fire at a water park? So this is weird. In July 1518, hundreds of citizens took to the streets of France, breaking off into a form of hysterical dance that lasted several days and led to numerous fatigue deaths. The exact cause of this bizarre dancing plague remains unknown to this day. Watch how easy it is to cut a shard of glass underwater compared to air. This is due to a scientific principle known as the rebinder effect, where water molecules interact with the surface to accelerate crack formation and control shattering. This is aerial footage of a scenic river canyon in Iceland. The ecosystem is so delicate here that stepping on the moss is prohibited by law in an attempt to preserve its lush landscape. When a specific nerve cord is severed, a mosquito has no sense of being full. It will continue to consume blood until it quadruples its body weight, whereupon it explodes. This is a rare sighting of a melanated fox, popularly known as the silver fox, a unique variation of the standard red fox species, existing as less than 10% of their entire population. Man, it's really heartbreaking when you realize that Chadwick Boseman filmed all these incredible stunts for Marvel's Black Panther while battling stage 3 colon cancer, a real-life superhero. Rest on, legend. This isn't a behind-the-scenes from Sharknado. This is the famous Headington shark, a fiberglass structure erected in England on the 41st anniversary of the Nagasaki bombing as a bold anti-war symbol. Took me a moment to realize this wasn't the aftermath of a lethal shark attack. These are pelagic tuna crabs, a vital marine species known for their bright red hue and their affinity for moving in massive swarms. These beautifully ice-coated plants are a farmer's means of protecting their crops from extremely cold temperatures, with the icy barrier acting as an insulator. A really fascinating paradox. Anakin's skyscraper here is a part of a street performance by a French company, Royal Deluxe, operated by a group of extremely skilled puppeteers. I always find these large marionettes extremely creepy and... did it just look at us? Crocodiles employ different hunting strategies depending on their prey's habitat. Land animals are taken to the water, and marine catches are brought to the surface to prevent slipping back into the water or being stolen by a larger predator. This was the moment the Statue of Liberty collapsed from powerful wind gusts exceeding 50 meters per hour earlier this week. Not the real one, though. The replica from Brazil. This photo of a street in Amsterdam is known for its plane trees that form a natural tunnel over the road. So Red Bull organized this really cool Tetris tournament in Dubai using a fleet of over 2,000 synchronized RGB drones in the night sky. They're literally playing Tetris on drones. How cool is that? This was the moment these 2 speed climbers reached a statistically improbable tie, both recording a duration of 5.368 seconds at the Rome European qualifiers. This time-lapse video shows the intricate, rigorous construction of a snowman sculpture nearly 62 feet high in Harbin, China. It's a yearly tradition in the country's ice city. This precious interaction between a toddler and a dolphin at the Mississippi Aquarium in Gulfport is the cutest video you'll see on the internet today. Ever wondered what a surfer's POV looks like while riding a massive wave? It looks a little like this frightening close-up footage from Kai Lenny on a Hawaiian reef break. So this is how lost golf balls are retrieved from water hazards using specialized equipment that wrenches them in between metal discs. This is a statue of an Egyptian woman dated to be 3,000 years old, located in the Field Museum, Chicago. They don't look like much, but the microscopic tardigrade is Earth's toughest animal. They are a species capable of surviving decades without food or water and are the only known earthly species to survive in outer space. Check out this traditional ship-breaking technique. The side launch is used in constrained waterfront areas and requires meticulous planning and calculations to ensure sufficient stability of the vessel. This is an aerial view of the Bantar Gebang landfill in Indonesia, one of the largest landfills in the world, estimated to be as wide as over 200 football fields and spanning 15 stories high. This is what the stomach of a Central African rock python looks like after downing a full, medium-sized impala. How I feel after Thanksgiving dinner. Now here's something you do not see every day. This herd of African elephants perceived the pool water in this resort several miles away and came up for a sip. Gotta pay tax somehow for living on their turf. This coverage of a cardio rave in China looks like a lot of fun. I mean, who wouldn't want to work out in one of these? No wonder everyone in China. Holy shit, did that dude just pop a bottle with his tits? Did you know? Noodling is considered a dangerous sport due to the risk of drowning, encountering other wildlife like venomous snakes, snapping turtles, and more. Also, due to safety and conservation concerns, noodling is only legal in about 16 states. This is footage of the Tsar Bomba, the most powerful nuclear device ever detonated, recorded to be over 3,500 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. This was a local news broadcast covering a police pursuit of a suspected car thief in California. Despite the suspect's early head start, the police officers still impressively caught up with him, even though he was sprinting with 30 pounds of gear. This is why the Belgian Malinois isn't a breed for first-time dog owners. This incredibly athletic canine requires experienced owners who can handle all its strength and intensity. Otherwise, it can become destructive. Check out this miniature apartment in NYC that costs $650 per year. The entire unit is about the size of a large walk-in closet and includes a small kitchenette, an adequate living area with a couch, and a lofted bed. This is an aerial view of Siberia's Batagaika crater, the largest permafrost crater in the world. It is currently thawing due to global warming and has since revealed the remains of fascinating prehistoric creatures from the Ice Age. This was the moment a sudden landslide struck in Everett, Washington, derailing a freight train and damaging the contained cargo. So this is how a giant forest scorpion finishes off its prey. It punctures a hole in its head and swiftly injects it with venom, ensuring the instant immobilization of its catch. This is a photo of notorious serial killer and grave robber Ed Gein, ominously smiling after his arrest in 1957. Gein infamously used the body parts of his victims to create household items like belts and lamps. Despite their menacing reputation, African wild dogs rarely attack humans, except when gravely provoked or threatened. This documentary footage highlights their hesitation and curiosity around humans. So this is pretty cool. A Swedish startup trained wild crows to pick up discarded cigarette butts and deposit them in this machine in exchange for nuts, cutting the costs of litter cleanup. This was the moment professional golfer Si-Woo Kim set the record for the longest hole-in-one in major championship history, hitting an incredible length of 230 meters. A groundbreaking imaging system was developed at MIT, capable of filming light in motion at 1 trillion frames per second. The system is nicknamed the world's fastest camera and operates on an indirect stroboscopic method. Yeah, this is what an average catch in the Amazon looks like. This is the giant arapaima, one of the largest freshwater fish in the world. This isn't a composite image. This is a single photograph of the New Hampshire Veteran Cemetery. This is how parasitic roundworms are extracted from their host body. They are capable of hijacking the minds of their hosts, compelling them to drown themselves in a body of water in order to reproduce. Watch how these men rebuild a severely damaged car from scratch, a common practice in regions where car imports are highly expensive. No one should be allowed to drive this. This is incredible, but the 3 hours of reloading for 30 seconds of fun and 3 hours of cleanup will totally be worth it. Hey Santa, I definitely want this cool Nerf gun for Christmas. Meet Douglas Siriaco, a doctor in remote Brazil who provides medical care for his patients without charging a fee due to their lack of access to healthcare. Bless his heart, for real. I had no idea flying fish could get high like this. These fascinating species harness air currents and can travel up to 400 meters using their wing-like pectoral fins to glide through the air. This is newsreel footage of the fatal Hindenburg accident, a tragic occurrence that hit New Jersey in 1937, putting an end to the era of commercialized airships used for transporting passengers. This is beyond fascinating. The unique biology of the ironclad beetle allows it to withstand impressive crushing forces up to 39,000 times its own weight, being capable of surviving being run over by cars. The bug's resistance level is equivalent to a 200-pound man surviving the impact from 2 space shuttles. A woman snuck into the back of a restaurant and filmed this horrifying horrifying behind-the-scenes coverage of the food storage unit within a popular, unnamed restaurant in Florida, raising health concerns. This rare footage is the first ever near-surface recording of a black devilfish, a solitary species that thrives in underwater depths devoid of any sunlight. Owing to unclear reasons, this fish mysteriously died shortly after its first exposure to sunlight. Check out this 100-year-old man performing pull-ups on a German 88-meter cannon. I bet you feel real fat right now. This is a supercomputer simulation by NASA for the Artemis II mission, the first flight test of the Space Launch System aimed at better preparing their spacecraft for a deep space mission around the moon. I'm pretty sure this giraffe's tongue has more reach than my Wi-Fi. The giraffe's long, prehensile tongue is built with perfect muscular control, allowing it to slurp the leaves of thorny trees without getting pricked. This timeless image is an autochrome photograph of a young Irish lady in her traditional attire, captured by two French photographers in a bid to document old cultures on the brink of extinction. So this is how they moved a real Viking ship into a museum in Norway. They moved it 100 meters, and the estimated cost of that transport was 42 million euros. Thanks to Chucky, I can never own an action figure this realistic. This limited, high-tech collectible figure of the Joker is being sold for as high as $1,700. But I don't know, man, this looks pretty worth it. It turns out this Bruce Lee move was never a film trick at any point. This is the execution of the one-inch punch, a powerful, short-range martial arts technique that generates immense explosive power. Check out this cool battery ejection system used to stop cars from burning during thermal runaway, a dangerous, self-sustaining process where heat generated within a system causes reactions that release even more heat, leading to an uncontrollable temperature increase, often resulting in fire, explosion, or venting of toxic gases, especially common in lithium-ion batteries due to internal shorts or abuse. This is an architectural design of the toilet systems in medieval castles. This exclusive footage from the U.S. Air Force captures a pilot in a training simulation attempting to overcome the extreme G-forces experienced during high-speed aerial maneuvers. This has got to be the most insane barbet in history. In 1998, British adventurer Carl Bushby made a bet to walk from Chile back to his hometown in England. 27 years later, Carl has covered over 58,000 kilometers. He has survived the Darien Gap, 57 days in a Russian prison, traversing the Bering Strait on shifting ice, and is expected to complete his journey by September 2026. The high-altitude winds are absolutely clapping this photographer's cheeks, man. Bro looks like he knows everything there is to know about the shrimping business.